Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. This is the program that has the very real potential to clear up every politically brainwashed mind in the country. The potential to. And here, I am your host, Mr. Sick of Shit. Why am I Mr. Sick of Shit? Because I'm sick of the shit. Likely you are too. As if it isn't bad enough that so many people have lost their jobs that didn't need to. Businesses all over the country shut down, thousands upon thousands of businesses out of business for good. The country is in shambles. And it has been two groups that have done it. And they're both political. Many people call them Democrats and Republicans. I call them Demon-crats and Repulsivans because they're demonic and repulsive. Got news for you folks. The current administration has come up with something called CP3. Look it up. Chances are, if you try to use Google, you will not find it. You'll have to use something like DuckDuckGo, and you will have to look through quite a bit of crap about a basketball celebrity before you actually find it. But you will find it. But you'll only find it likely at DuckDuckGo, on that search engine. Google doesn't want people to know about it. Why? Because Biden has flipped his lid. He's calling basically anybody and everybody who does not go along with the current administration's narrative and the lamestream narrative with reference to COVID and other things a domestic violent extremist and or someone who has the potential to become a domestic violent extremist, and has basically set up a what you call kind of a pre-crime division where they can come in and get you to prevent you from doing something that they think you have the potential to do. Sound like a movie you've ever seen before that Tom Cruise was in? Yeah, I thought of that too. Well, the Repulsivan Party has basically not, well, I can understand why they turned on Trump. I've turned on Trump. I think anybody that has any sense at all has turned on Trump if they ever supported Trump, because he basically turned his back on all of his constituents and betrayed us all. But I saw that about a year before a lot of other people did. Because personally, it's just my own personal viewpoint. I really don't believe that this condition that they have made such a big to-do about is even real. I just don't. Others do, and if you do, that's fine. But I don't believe it's real. I really believe that they just made the whole thing up to scare people into giving up their freedom and allowing them to become the totalitarian governmental regime that they have become. That's my feeling on it. I really believe they just made it all up for that one purpose. Well, that and because they want to inject as many people as possible with euthanasia injections. They're calling it something else. I'm not going to say what they're calling it. I think you know what they're calling it. But it's not what they're calling it. They're going to be euthanizing people, but they're going to do it very deceptively, very slowly, so people can't figure out what they think people won't figure out what's going on. But a lot of us already know. That's why we don't want to get any injections. I won't get any at all. I don't care what it is, because I don't know what's in it. So I'm not getting any. I won't even get B12 because I don't know what they've put in it. You do what you want, but I'm not getting anything injected into my arm. I'm just not going to. Or anywhere else, for that matter. Nothing is going in my nose. Nothing's going in my mouth that I don't give my consent for. So, since the Repulsivans have turned on their own people, and many of the voters that used to vote for those people are not going to vote for them anymore because they've turned on the people and they have gone the way of the Democrat. So now, likely, it's possible, I'm hoping, we're actually going to see an even bigger divide, honestly. Not just between the D and the R, but if enough of the D's, because a lot of the Democrats who have been voting for the Democrats are really sick of the way that they're being treated, and they're leaving Democrat states and cities. Now, you've also got a lot of the Republicans, and the voters are Republicans. The politicians are the Repulsivans. A lot of them are leaving the Republican Party and going into independent and libertarian because they're sick of the shit, just like I am. So I'm really hoping that if this country has any chance left at all, that by the time enough of the Democrats and the Republicans have left the Democrat and the Repulsivan politicians behind and started voting with the Libertarian and the Independents, one of them will get in office, and maybe, just maybe, then the country has a chance and can bounce back. I am just hoping and praying that that is what's going to happen, that God allows this to happen, that the people of this country finally wake up and realize that we've done too many things our own way. We've got to get back to Holy Mother, Father, and Son and do things their way. If we don't, this country has no chance. We've got to do it. So, that is where things stand. And in conclusion, I am going to say that you need to be careful because you don't know when you could potentially become a target, because now they're making it very easy for your neighbors, if they see or hear anything that they think is even just slightly out of the ordinary, to report you to this CP3 organization, DHS, and what have you. You could have somebody knocking at your door that's really pretty dangerous, so be careful. Be careful what you say to people. Be careful how you behave, because you just don't know what they're going to use against you to call you a domestic violent extremist. In the meantime, plant yourself an organic garden. Please. Melons, berries, vegetables. If you can manage to get yourself a goat or two, nanny goats for milking, that would be a good idea. A few chickens, whatever you have the space for. This would all be a good idea. I really would suggest all of it. Be as well prepared as you can at all times, because every worst case scenario possible looks like it's on its way. Put your trust and your faith only in Holy Mother, Father, and Son, because when the chips are down, there will be no one else there to save you. Just them. And they're all you need. So, just remember, they are your rock and your fortress. Depend and trust. Depend on them to trust them. Trust in them. Till next time, this is Mr. Sick of Shit saying, be careful. Be careful.